Welcome to the Chop Team. I'm your host, Seth the Dart Child.
I'm your host, Twin Zinc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our Barbershop style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up. Oh, we back.
Yo.
Seth the Dart Child, how you doing, my brother?
Yo, I'm loving life. It is what it is, and it ain't bad right now.
Well, today is Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. The weather is nice. And yes, I said Sunday because we do our live recording on Sundays at 3 p.m.-ish. Mm-hmm. And we upload the shows on Monday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time. Every day. Every Monday. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, it's Sunday. It is about 3-ish o'clock time, 3:30, 26 to be exact. And, you know, we dedicate to our craft because it is football. So, we do have Red Zone up. So, if you hear us pause for a minute, it'll be like, ooh, ah. Yeah. That's because we got the game in the background showing. So, you know, just letting you know. But we here, though. We with you. We rocking with y'all. And, Seth, how you feeling today, man? Sunday. We got an extra hour of sleep. You get some rest?
Nah, I didn't get. I'm sorry. You know what? My mind went straight rated X.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All
no,
right.
I didn't get an extra hour of sleep.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, for the average people, I did get an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah, bro. That was not safe for work right then.
I was laying there. See, he wasn't ready. Caught him off guard. I woke up. I'm like, oh, man. It's really 7 o'clock, but no. It's really 6 o'clock because we got an hour back. But anyway. So now it's going to get darker early, so, you know.
That sucks.
I mean, you know, freaks come out at night, I guess. I mean, if you're a night person, it gets dark for you. Or if you're a vampire, hey, you got more time to play, right?
Sometimes you... Anyway.
All right.
We need to walk away. Just
okay,
let it go.
We're going to get right to the topic, ladies and gentlemen. As you see the topic today, the risk of marriage. So first off, let's be very clear here, okay? Because if you've been following Twin Zinc and the Chop Team, I have this conversation for going on for the last year and a half, or at least I say a year. It's been a year. I've been on this little campaign. And the message I've been presenting to my young men and young fellas out there, anyone who want to listen, is that, hey, there is no benefit to get married. Point blank, period. Now, I'm saying there's no benefit to get married. I'm not saying be alone. I'm not saying be single, because we are stronger together, man and woman, right? What I'm saying is that don't sign that legal document that can really cost you everything. And we're going to really break that down today. So before we get into it, Seth, anything you want to add to that, brother?
Yeah, I just want to add my own 2 cents. First off, I disagree with you a little bit about no benefit to being married, because there are benefits to being married. But, now this is the but, where I agree with you, is that the benefits are overshadowed so much by the negative that it's not worth it regardless of the benefits.
All right, so before we get too deep into this topic, so tell me the benefits that you're referring to that it is good. So if you're in a relationship with somebody that, you know, y'all can be together forever, right? This is a perfect idea. What's the benefit? Well,
see, the potential benefits of it, having somebody you can trust.
Okay.
And I mean, having somebody you can trust intimately. Somebody you know that is going to be there for you through thick and thin, because life is full of that, you know.
Okay.
Like having somebody that, even though you know you ain't got time to quote unquote take care of a girlfriend or a boyfriend, you know you'll straighten them out in the future, and you can plan long term. Okay, people like to say you have a 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan, right?
Okay.
Well, it's easy for me as an individual to have my own 1, 5, and 10-year plan, right? But when I'm married, being able to say that I'm going to work hard as heck for my 20s and 30s and 40s, right? But when I hit my 50s and 60s, I have already put in time with somebody I trust that I can't wait to see the world with, right? I can't wait. I used to couldn't wait to go to Hawaii or Paris or England with my, ex-wife. I couldn't wait to do it. I couldn't afford to do it in my youth, but I ain't trying to take some little. We'll talk about that in a minute, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so now if I go, I'm not taking somebody I've built memories up with and I'm comfortable with. I'll probably just be taking somebody I'm smashing. There's just, you know what I'm saying? That's the part. If the game wasn't rigged for failure right now, marriage is actually kind of nice. But I feel like it's rigged for failure, and you'll be kind of stupid to play that game right now. So I agree, but I wish it wasn't so.
So, because I think you said to have a very good, intimate friendship with somebody, or somebody you can really trust, but someone intimately you can trust, like with everything X, Y, Z.
Yeah, I mean, okay, and like I say, we're on that part, but like I say,
see, I'm putting the pressure on, ladies and gentlemen.
No, because I was married for 14 years, right? And at the same time, we raised children together.
Okay.
It's a lot of stuff you're not going to do in that 14 years. While you're raising children. Mm-hmm. But the moment they get older, imagine having somebody that they were with you in your 20s while you were working hard and struggling and building a family and all that. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden your kid's out of high school and they're off and you still have that same partner, but y'all have, this person has your back.
Right.
Or you hope, you trust that they have your back.
Okay.
Right. And so y'all do stuff because you know that other person got you intimately. If you was to fall and break your leg or something, the thought of you not having somebody there to help you with that broken leg ain't even a thought. You know what I'm saying? You know they're going to be there. The same way if she need a gallbladder removed or something like that.
And you're a perfect match and you'll give it up.
No, you'll be at the hospital too, though. You go,
well, of course you'll be there, right?
Babe, I heard I need to. You take her to the hospital. You go home. You get her clothes and all that. Ain't no questions asked. You take care of that person. That person takes care of you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You always gonna do what's best for that other person, and you expect them to do that for you. Right now, I'm single, straight up. If I go to the hospital, I'm there by myself. I don't care if I'm dating somebody. I don't expect my girlfriend to show up. She can't make life and death decisions for me. What I need to do, wake up out of coma and tell them what I want to do. But who am I going to give power of attorney to? You know, that kind of stuff. It might seem minor, but having somebody you can intimately trust has benefits. The problem is, once again, that the contract has been broken. The spirit of the contract has been broken, and you'll be a fool to sign up for that junk right now.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first. So that's, a few things. And ladies and gentlemen, I understand where he's coming from, and it does make a lot of sense. But, when people get married, most marriages don't even last 2 to 5 years.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's an average. Most of them don't even make it that long.
Nope.
Some do. So if you're watching this stream right now, and you probably, if you listen to the podcast, you want to go to YouTube and you want to type in Dachopteam and you want to make sure you watch the same show, because I had some props in front of me today that we're going to break down to explain the risk of the marriage, right? Mm-hmm. Now, the things he said earlier about, someone, I'll say this.
Partner.
Yeah, intimate partner. I'll say this. Before I even got married and I was dating or just being a single guy, but if there were a situation where I got hurt or injured, I knew there was a girl, I ain't gonna say her name, but I knew there was a lady that would have been there by my bedside, even though we weren't married, we was having relations, but I knew for a fact that she would have been there. So to say that I need to have someone married to be there for me, I get it, but one thing is not absolute. What he say is not absolute. What I'm saying is not absolute, right? Mm-hmm. But of course, it would be better to have someone that you're married to be there with you, because they're supposed to be there for you through sickness and health and all good stuff.
Yep.
Through the whole commitments, right? Mm-hmm. But you can still have that same for somebody that you're not actually married to. Then even on top of that, the other thing too about making a life decision. Once again, I'm not saying don't be in a relationship. You can be in a full-fledged relationship. All I'm saying, don't sign the marriage license. And we'll get into that momentarily. What I'm saying is, if you are with somebody, and I know a lot of people who are not married, but in a long-term committed relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And
which is all I could ever offer going forward. But go ahead.
Well, with that being said, you're able to have a legal document signed to state, hey, if anything ever happened to me, I'm not ever marrying this girl, but if anything ever happened to me, she has full attorney rights over me and everything, and my kids XYZ. That's why it's called wills. And let's be very clear. A lot of black folks, married or not married, they don't have wills. Mm-hmm. Now, the only thing with the marriage, if you are married, then by default you don't have to have a will because you're the wife, you will get everything, right? Mm-hmm. But that's the caveat for the woman. That's the benefit for the woman. What's the benefit for the man?
Well, see, now we're going to pair it up because I don't want. I've moved on a little bit from the man versus woman portion of it. Not because, from a factual standpoint, it primarily affects males. Let's be honest. Me and the person who make the most money. So when I talk about it nowadays, I'm not talking from a position of man versus woman. I'm talking from a position of the fact that the person who tends to be in a stronger position in the relationship, aka makes more money, so we don't want to be confused later, but the person who makes more money is the person most likely to be punished in case the marriage contract breaks down. Now, women make as much as men, but we'll talk about that. The problem is when it comes to when marriages breaks down, the person who made the most money is the one that's going to get punished 90+% of the time. He just happens to have a Y chromosome.
AKA a man.
AKA a man.
So, all right, let's get into the whole risk, the risk of the marriage, right? Mm-hmm. So, as you see, example A, B, and C, 3 documents in front of me. Mm-hmm. 3 documents that majority or most people will do within their lifespan. Mm-hmm. So, what you see here in the middle is a lease or a car note that you may buy, or even if you buy it out, you still got to sign these pages. And you see here, it's about maybe 40 to 50 pages you have to sign, right? Mm-hmm. This is for a car. If you lease a car, rent a car, buy a car, you have to sign all those documents. Yep. As you see, or Exhibit C, this is the mortgage. If you decide to buy a house, mm-hmm. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 packets here, probably over 300 pieces of pages that you have to sign front and back. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then Exhibit A, the infamous, the wonderful, the most marvelous thing since sliced cheese is the marriage license. 1 page. There is no back to it. This is the marriage license, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So as you see Exhibit A, B, and C in front of me, marriage license, car note, mortgage. Mm-hmm. Out of these 3 things here, ladies and gentlemen, Seth the Dark Child.
Yes, sir.
I know you kind of know the answer here, but I like you don't know the answer here.
Okay.
So, sir, out of these 3 things I presented to you, Exhibit A, marriage license, Exhibit B, driver's car note, mm-hmm. Exhibit C, mortgage. Okay. Out of these 3 things I showed you that I have, and you might have at 1.2, mm-hmm. which one of these things do you think, just look by the eye looking at it, which will cost you the most?
I would have thought that it would be C.
C, ladies and gentlemen, the C is the house, the mortgage. So, for example, the mortgage here, or the house that I purchased here, is between $150 and $250. I won't give you the exact amount because it's not people's business. But it's somewhere in between that range mm-hmm. that this right here can cost. Go ahead, Seth. Go ahead.
I just want to add one thing. I think you should have added it. A birth certificate.
Birth certificate?
Yeah.
Why?
Because a child in America costs $250,000 from 0 to 18.
That might be part 2.
And it's still just one page, no back. Keep going.
That might be part 2. So, as Seth Darchild said, you would think if something were to happen where you lose your house, like,
you can get mortgage insurance. I'm sorry.
No. What I'm saying is, if there's a situation where you may lose a job or you fall on hard times, right, you're going to lose this money. Mm-hmm. And if you ever been through the process of buying a house, it costs a lot of money and time. You have to make sure your credit score is A1.
Put in work.
You have to make sure you have the down deposit for closing and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But before you even get to that, you got to do the home inspection. You got to pass all these things. You got to pay all these. It's just a lot of money and tied up. Mm-hmm. But it's a possibility between, like I said, 150 to 250. I can lose that, right? And guess what? Probably won't get this back. But I still will be able, again, to buy another house in the future. May take a little bit of time, depending on XYZ, what happens. but I can still survive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Exhibit B, which is the car note. I think we all have been through car notes. Hey, I'm going to be very transparent with y'all. I have had 3 repos. 3 repos. It's happened. I had 3 repos. But still, I have 2 cars right now sit outside, both paid off. So, yes. Will it hurt you a little bit? Yeah. But can you bounce back? You sure can. Could you pay? You might pay more in,
when your car is repo, do you still owe money after they take their vehicle back?
Kind of yes and no.
Okay.
Because the answer is yes, you still owe it. But, there are 7 years go by, and guess what? It falls off your credit, if you didn't know that. I'm not your financial representative, so make sure you seek financial guidance when it comes to that. But that lets you know I was young when I had these repos, long story short. But, yes, I didn't have to pay them back. But they fell after 7 years. After 7 years, you don't pay it, guess what? Falls off your credit. Hey. But anywho, I'm not saying it's what you should do, but you can still pay it. But guess what? Like I just said, I still was able to get 2 cars sitting outside, and my car's not 10 years old. Okay, they're not 1990-something. They're not 2005. They're less than 10 years old, so they're very new cars. Both paid off. Now, Exhibit A. Now, this one piece of paper here that doesn't have no back, but had this wonderful gold seal, can cost you everything. Everything.
All your money.
It can cost you everything.
All your
Actually,
pride,
this one piece of paper here can cost you all 3 things combined together.
Yep.
It can cost you a house. It can cost you a car. It can cost you everything.
It can cost you your kids. It can cost you your self-respect. It can cost you your sanity. It could cost you all your money in the bank. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
So, this is the huge risk that wasn't presented to me before I got married. Seth, was this information presented to you as well?
Nope. Nobody tapped me on the shoulder. Even when I had the conference with the pastor, you have to do that before you get married. I mean, what was that?
Which I did too.
An hour of marriage counseling?
I did plenty of hours of marriage counseling before and during. But yes.
No, I mean, I'm just saying right before you get married, you got to talk to the pastor. What's that, like an hour consultation or some crap
something
like that?
Yeah.
None of the long-term issues, risk were explained to me.
No,
it was, honestly, I really don't want to get down into the weeds on it, but the truth of the matter is, I feel like I was encouraged to walk blindly into that situation. Like, it's going to be all the good. It's going to be good. You'll be happy. You'll make love all the time. None of the negatives, the actual, true, factual, possible negatives were ever voiced to me at that time.
And that's a fact. Now, yes. Now, let's be very clear, ladies and gentlemen. Does marriage have wonderful times in it? It sure does. A lot of great benefits when things are going smooth. See, the one thing we need to realize, and this is really focused on my young men and young boys that want to get married or think about getting married. Once again, I'm giving you this information so you can have it because it wasn't given to me. It wasn't given to our child. That's the one thing when it comes to knowledge and experience. It's our responsibility to share the knowledge to the young generation. You know what I'm saying? So you can still do what you want to do. But if you come across this video and you listen to this, you can't say that no one ever told you.
That is true.
That's dead now. Now, no one ever told me, but I learned. Now, mind you, I'm still married now. Let's be clear. So going on 12, 13, I'm still in there. But I just want to be real with y'all. I want to be upfront with y'all. And these same conversations I have right now with y'all, right now with me and Seth, our child, I had the same conversation with my wife. Simple as that. Because I told her, I said, you know what? I'm not telling my son to get married. Why? I said, there's no benefit. And the reason why I said it because in the new laws, or the current law it is right now, and I had this conversation with my wife. I said, right now, baby, you can wake up tomorrow morning and say you're unhappy. Not that I cheated, not that I stopped providing, not that I'm not protecting you, not that I try to do everything possible I can to make you happy, right? You can wake up tomorrow morning and say you're unhappy and you file for divorce. And on top of you leaving me for no damn reason, right? You get a severance package.
Yep.
And some people say, what's a severance package? Well, a severance package is when you work for most companies, right? And you've been for 10 plus years, and you know what? You didn't do nothing wrong, technically, But maybe you make too much money. They'll bring somebody in newer, pay them less money, X, Y, Z.
Well, let's use a different word.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I mean, I just want to, let's say the company moves on from you. It ain't about you were fine. We just decided to go in a different direction.
Different direction.
Okay, keep going.
So with that being said, hey, instead of just firing you and you leave with nothing, hey, here's what we're going to do for you. Mm-hmm. Based on how many years you have, we'll give you this many hours of vacation, this many hours in stocks and X, Y, Z, and you walk around with this bonus here, and you have a whole year. After you leave us, we'll still cover you for a whole year insurance and everything, right? Mm-hmm. That's what we call a service package. Well, when it comes to marriage, in this day and age that we're in now, these ladies have a huge service package to leave their man. Mm-hmm. Now, the numbers may have dropped. It's maybe it used to be 8%. I want to say between 60 and 70, somewhere in between there. I could be wrong, could be generous, but it's still too high. It ain't 50-50. It's 60 to 70% somewhere in there that women are leaving their men. So men 60+%. Yes. So men want to be married, right? Mm-hmm. But at a high rate, women are leaving. And when they leave, it's different. You leave me and that's it. You go, you step away, I step away, we take care of our kids, boom, boom. No. When you leave, you want to take this, you want to take that. So once again. Once again, I still want to clarify. Go ahead.
It's not just women leaving.
Well,
it's just that when it does dissolve, the person who made the most has the most resources,
yes,
gets punished. It just happens to be men primarily, but some women fall into the same situation. I
agree. And
so I just want to clear that it ain't all women. It's the person who made the most money. That just happens to be us.
So with that being said, he is correct on that too. But guess what, Seth the Dark Child? Today, we're not talking to the women today. I'm talking to the young men and the young boys. The reason why I'm talking to them, and the reason why I'm talking to the men, period, because it's men who are marrying a woman. Women don't marry men. The man chooses you. I don't care how you chop up any way you want to. Okay. I choose you. I choose you to be my wife. I choose you to carry my last name. I choose you to bury my kid. I choose you. Mm-hmm. Regardless of X, Y, Z, I still choose you. I have to walk down the aisle, buy you the ring. I do that. Okay? Let's be clear. So what he's saying is true. I know a woman right now who's going through the ringer because she was the breadwinner. Mm-hmm. But sorry, I'm talking to my fellas today.
This ain't about you, boo.
It ain't about you, boo. You got your other million woman stations, TV shows, whatever platforms.
Fair enough.
So this is for the Barbershop, the DaChop team. So I'm talking to my young fellas. So as I was saying, once a woman decides she wants to leave and tear this little one-page decree in half, she takes half. So when you come to the car, right? Mm-hmm. Cars. As I stay, I'm going to use me as a case study. Example, I have two cars outside. Mm-hmm. One car is a 2016 and the other one 2015. Mm-hmm. Now, I drive a smaller car because, the wife, she has a nice brand new car. But let's say, for example, I had the newer car. It looked really nice. It was big and everything. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the divorce, even though I've been driving our car, making sure it's all good, I'm going to pay for both cars, but whatever, she can take my car and leave me with the car that she has.
Well, she's going to get the bigger, better car.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. He clarified that. That's what I'm saying. So, even though you have two cars, where's one they deem as the better one, she'll get that one. Mm-hmm. So, fellas, imagine you had an F1 250 loaded and everything else, and she had the little family caravan one, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say both the same year, she going to lead with the F-150. She's too small, but she going to take that.
If whoever gets the kids gets to choose.
I didn't get to that part yet. You jumped the gun.
Okay.
But yes, because we'll get to that. Gotcha. So once again, she gets to take the car. Now, the house. Now, if you have more than one house, then she'll get the better house.
Yes.
And based on school district. But if there's only one house, even though you worked hard, sweating tears, built the house from the ground up, whatever, you have to get out your own house. Mm-hmm. And on top of you getting out your own house, you still got to pay for it, and you don't live there. Right? And people say, well, that's the man's job to provide, make sure his family's good. I am providing for my family's good. But if she decides she wants to leave me, why I got to leave my house because she wants to leave? Mm-hmm. Well, because she gets the kids. I mean, who said, why do if I'm the breadwinner, right? If I'm able to show that I'm able to make enough money to take care of a family, why am I not paying to have? Why I don't have my kids?
Mm-hmm.
But the system don't work that way. So the woman gets the kids and gets the house. So now with all
What
that,
she does 95% of the time.
95% of the time. So with that being said, fellas, I want you to understand this is the risk you take when you say I do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you weren't married, let's take it for a second. Let's take this way. So you weren't married, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not married at all, but you got a woman you with, you got kids, X, Y, Z, whatever. You know what? Things don't work out well. Oh, guess what? When she leaves, she just leaves. She takes wherever she has hers, and that's it. And guess what? You keep your car, and you keep your house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may pay child support. That's fine, because I don't think no man has any problem with paying child support for his kid. Not a problem. But outside of that, he's good. Now, oh, sorry, go ahead, Steph. Sorry, did I pitch a nerve?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Hey, listen.
And it's not, once again, I 100%, I mean, most men, I ain't gonna say no man, I don't know them all. Most men don't have a problem paying for child support. What we do have a problem in is paying unfairly expensive child support that we know doesn't benefit our children. That's the kind of stuff that makes most men mad. So, example, just to level set, if y'all can't figure it out. If I've taken care of my children, I know how much it costs to live in our house, XYZ. I know that my child actually, from an expense standpoint, if I am any good with math, might actually be an additional $300 a month to the bills I would have if he wasn't living in the house with me. But the moment I have to pay child support into the system, they want $780 a month. That kid doesn't cost $780 a month. That part, they don't have a car note. They're not paying credit card bills.
No.
Food, grocery, and clothing for kids is not $800 a month.
Not even
so
close.
why am I? No, but that's what child support says, and that causes a breakdown long term between men and women because we feel robbed every time you do it. So keep going. I'm sorry. It's not fair.
And that's a risk, fellas. That's the risk that you take.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to get into the reasons of why she leave because, unfortunately, that seems to be like the main arguing point with most women why she leave? Or what he cheat? Well, you know what I'm saying? It's always that what he do, right? And now, mind you. Now, I was going to say this. So once everyone gets married, I don't care what religion, unless you get married under a different religion. But in America, if you get married under the Christianity religion.
Most of the rules.
Most of us. Depending, like I said, what the point I'm trying to make is that, let's say he did cheat. Show me where in the Bible scripture where it says a woman can leave her man if the man husband cheats. Okay, all right. Do your homework if you want to. Put it in the chat. You find it. Go ahead and put it in the chat. The Corinthians, whatever, Psalms, whatever it is. Put it in. Show me. Just put it in there like here. Right here it says that. Because, and tell me also where it says if she's docile, not happy. If she's not happy, please show me where in the Bible scripture where that's in there too, where she can leave because she's unhappy. Mm-hmm. Just show me those things under there where those are there. Mm-hmm. Because those seem to be the main, most of the huge top reason why people leave. Now, we can talk about money too. Money is always going to be a problem, right? We know that's a fact, that's a given. Mm-hmm. But most of the people that I know, they're breaking up their homes because of those situations. Mm-hmm. And the worst part about it is when they decide to leave or a woman decide to leave her man XYZ. And I had a conversation with many women. I'm like, okay, he cheated. I get it. Don't feel good. All right, whatever. Did you find out why he cheated? No, it don't matter. See, that's the problem right there. That's the problem. Because how you going to fix a problem if you know what the root cause was? So you don't get into another relationship with another man and you don't keep being who you are because you never find out why he did it in the first place. Right? Now, is it going to be a difficult conversation? Yes. It's never easy to tell a woman why you cheated on her. But sometimes the conversation need to be had. We're adults here. But if you don't take that decision, if you don't take that moment to find out why he did it and try to figure out, okay, maybe I need to start doing X, Y, Z better to prevent that. Because as a man, there's so many things that as a man have to focus on and do every day and be stressed. We got to be protectors. We got to be providers. We got to be leaders. We got to make sure we get home to work every day and back home every day. There's so many things that we have to do is stressful, and you need to be our peace. And if you don't know what's going on with your man or husband or whatever, and then something happens, you can't be fully mad at him. Yeah, he has accountability. That's number one. He does have accountability on what his action is. But you got to figure out, okay, is this something that I could have did better or do to prevent him from doing X, Y, Z? Mm-hmm. This is where we are now, fellas. Fellas, I'm telling you. Listen, there's honestly, there is not really good benefit of this. I asked my own wife the same question. I said, babe, tell me out your own word, what is the benefit of being married? Wait, I was up and the only thing she can say to me is if I get in a health condition issue or life decision. So you telling me the only benefit for us being married is that if I get in a car accident and you pull the plug, that's the only reason why? And that moment I was like, yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. So with that being said, I'm not going to raise my son to go out and get married. Now, I'm going to tell him not to be alone. Now, if he do want to get married, he can, but I'm giving the same spill I'm giving y'all right now, I'm giving to him so you have that. So when he gets to a situation or he has some problems at home, he can't be like, no one ever told me. No, I told you, son. But go ahead, stepchild. Go ahead, buddy.
Honestly, no. I don't, before anything by thing, I'm not disagreeing with anything you just said. That's the bad part. I'm actually co-signing all of it. Once again, there's no incentive to fix a problem. So I wanted to unpack that little part you said about cheating, Right. So leaving somebody because of cheating and infidelity is absolutely it's the dumbest reason you could leave somebody. I'm going to be 100%. It is the cheating and infidelity is the silliest reason you can leave somebody as a woman. Now, men and women are different. When women try to leave you for cheating, 90% of the time they are cheating too. I'm going to be honest, the stats are out. This isn't my opinion. But women have been found to cheat at the same rates as a man. The problem is women are deceitful about their cheating at higher rates than men, meaning you probably do it more than us. Right? Now, but if you do cheat, the point comes in as, why did you cheat? A man cheated because he had an erection. He really did. He wasn't even looking for nothing. He just happened to do it. Women like to think that men are doing something on higher wavelengths and levels. No. For us, sex is still animalistic barbarism, right down there with me man, you woman. That's it. You know, I'm straight up.
Me man, you woman.
Yeah, we Captain Caveman when it comes to sex. We don't. Men when we have sex, it's a fact. The blood to make our penises erect has to come from somewhere. Our IQ drops every time we get an erection. We're dumber as we get one. Women don't function like that, and men have been foolish to believe that women did function like that. Women don't lose blood flow. They don't get dumber if they get aroused. They have taken advantage of us for years over that because they know we are stupider. But with that being said, when a man cheats on a woman, she doesn't really care. I'll say this to any woman face, and I'll prove it multiple times. A woman doesn't care where a man sticks her penis. If she catches you cheating, she files it away in the back of her head to be used against you at some point in the future. You know what I'm saying? She's going to justify her own actions because you did it. She's going to try to say, you cheated on me, so I cheated on you, or you cheated on me, so I spent an additional $1,000 on the credit card because my feelings were hurt. But the truth of the matter is, women don't care where men put their penises. They really don't. And no woman can honestly prove it otherwise. You like when we leave y'all the hell alone and mess with somebody else. So when that comes up, boom. But with the divorce and the marriage thing, so let's say I was cheating and she left. She took the car, the house, the kids, because I messed up, right? But at the same token, if she cheats on me, what happens? She still takes the car, the house, and the kids. You understand? You see what I'm saying?
Even in
all that.
And it's a fact. You can walk into your own house and your wife is having a threesome with 3 dudes, right? And you're still the breadwinner. You're still at XYZ. You catch her red-handed on the spot. Mm-hmm. And you're like, no, I'm not going to do this. Blah, blah, blah. Divorce. When you go through the whole court system, because you're the breadwinner, you still going to lose all this. And she's going to get the kids, even though you caught her red-handed. Mm-hmm. With the legal system, the only way the man will be able to win that scenario is if you have a legal document saying that she is an abusive mother, she's a danger to the kids. If you can prove that, and you need to have court police documents to prove that. It can't be from word of mouth. You need to have medical records or police records to prove that she is an unfit mother. Just that simple.
Man, she has to be in jail for murder and drug dealing, and she had to have been caught having sex with the dog, on top of the fact that you proven she was doing crack in front of the kids. And you still have only, at best, a 20% chance of getting custody.
This is the risk you take. Listen, is there flowers and sunshines at the end of this? There is. The thing is, our grandparents, the old school people that either were married or not married, they benefit from staying together with each other for all those years. Those ones those are the ones you dream about going on cruises. That's what they did. This new day and age, these women out here, they're entitled. They feel entitled. Therefore, I should be doing this. I should be having this. I'm not happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're living in this fantasy world, and they don't understand that their pup is being used out here because you're breaking up these homes because of the way you feel. You're not thinking logical about nothing. It's based on how you feel. Fellas, once again, I can go for hours on blue to the face. The risk doesn't equal it's like playing the lottery. Honestly, the marriage is like the lottery. It's like playing the Powerball, right? There's always a good chance you may hit, but guess what? Sometimes you may never hit. Doesn't matter how much money and time you put in the Powerball you play, $2 here, $5 here, $100 here, you may never hit. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with marriage. I know it sounds so wrong, but you just don't know. It's not the fact that I or Seth or anybody, man, who's married or was married, living in fear that the girl's going to leave him all day. It's the fact that there's a severance package that she can get if she leaves.
You know what?
I'm sorry. It's a fact.
Well, like I say, because every time, once again, I wish I could argue with you. I wish I could present different facts, but it's true. I've done this. The thing is that you do, as a man, let's put that point. You do live in fear that she'll leave you. The moment you got married, you were like, okay, let's make this work, right? And a lot of all these people out here, anybody out there insulting, talking about, I don't know why you scared. A real man wouldn't be afraid. No, bruh, because there's an incentive for her to leave. This isn't the same as saying a real man handle his business, and if it's real, it's got to handle competition. None of that. I
do a competition with work and everything else every day.
Well, exactly.
Like I do a competition with somebody that I said my wife or life.
I mean, continue. It's getting off the interstate. Yo, some folks don't want you to get off the interstate. You got to do what you got to do to get off the interstate safely. You know what I'm saying? You might want to change lanes and somebody don't want to let you out. You got to speed up, slow down. You have to do what you have to do to make it work, right? But when we dealing with marriages, let's be honest, this wasn't true 40 years ago.
No.
This wasn't even true 20 years ago. People knew it, but they didn't live like they knew it. Now, this is it. 5 years. You get married to a woman now, and I'm once again from a man's standpoint. Here's how marriages work. Real numbers. I don't want anybody want to call me and tell me a lie. Put it in writing. Come on to the show. I don't want none of this chatting up people in the streets like this. Black marriages in the black community specifically are failing at a 60% rate. That means out of every 10 people that get married, 60 people will be divorced 6 out of every 10, 6 will get divorced within 7 years. Might be 5, but 7 years. So that means 4 marriages didn't get divorced. We're not even going to talk about the fact that out of the 6 marriages that did get divorced, 5 were filed by the woman. So boom, that's done. Out of that, 5 were filed by the woman. Different reasons, doesn't even matter anymore. If there's children, the women get custody of the children 93%. 93% of the time. Bruh, you gotta, out of 10 kids, 9.5 of the time the wife's gonna get custody of the children. That sucks all over the place, right? Boom. Now back to the 4 that didn't get divorced. How many after that second year? Statistics prove it. Your sex life hits the toilet after about 2 years. So if you think you're gonna keep messing up them guts 5 days a week, by the time you get to year 2, you'll be lucky if you're getting them guts once a week. Lucky if you're getting guts once a week. A lot of marriages, and I can't tell you the exact number, but you're looking at about maybe 20%, 25%. Out of 4, that's another 1 finger down that living in sexless marriages. Maybe more.
Facts.
So you not getting no guts. Now you with somebody y'all don't even want to sleep together. So now even though it ain't there, it's only 3 marriages worth having. Right? Am I still but we
keep going.
But we're not done.
And there's more.
So out of the 3 marriages that might actually still be having sex and still married, you actively can't stand the other person. How many people you think that is? Should I drop 1 finger or 2 on this one?
You drop 2.
2 fingers?
2. That's it.
Are you looking at that finger? So, I mean, honestly, you might not get divorced, but you can't stand your person who you come home to every day. It might be 1 out of 10 marriages actually worth having. 1 out of 10. 6 of them going out the door because in 5 years you want a divorce, you can't stand that person. 2 of them, you just don't like the person, but you don't want to get a divorce. You're afraid of getting a divorce, and you're willing to do whatever you can to keep her because it's cheaper to keep her. That's a lie, but you're going to tell yourself that. It's not cheaper. I've done it. I was scared. Boy, I was terrified. About a year and a half in, I realized something. It was not cheaper to keep her. I should have gotten divorced way before I actually did. It would have been financially better for me at the end of the day to do that. I'll tell you about that part in a minute later. So 1 out of 10 marriages is actually actually something people seem to be happy about. I would never tell my son to marry somebody knowing he got a 1 in 10 chance of being happy.
Especially in this day and age. I mean, especially when you have, they got these songs out here, get the bread, act like you love them, and dip on them. You know what I mean? Or they come to your son's college games to get him, so when he gets pro, you can take all his money for the next 18 years. I'm just saying, like this is the world that we're in now,
and that's for the kids that might be going pro. The vast majority of people, hey, I had a baby with a Pookie or a Ray Ray, but you know what? I love you now, so you need to accept me and my kid. Okay, fine. How many kids me and you gonna have? None. I don't want no more kids. Wait. For me to be with you, I gotta support somebody else's child. How does that work? Oh, and I'll never, ever, ever be able to trust you with that baby daddy because let's be honest, you can always smash your baby mama.
No arguments there.
Just saying. You might not be able to smash your old ex-girlfriend or nothing like that, but if she had a kid by you, you will.
Always.
Unless she hates the breath you take, you will sleep with your baby mama. And that means that if she got 2 baby daddies, you in rotation.
Sad but true.
Okay.
And like I said, unless they have a hate relationship, like they can't stay each other.
And even if it's hate, bruh.
But listen,
what have we done?
Wait. Even if she do hate their baby daddy, that's bad for you. Like, what do you mean by that? Because if she see any tendencies in you that might resemble him, she gonna go off. You always going to hear something that he did that pissed her off. Like, don't compare me with that dude, but just saying. And even if she don't say it, she gonna look at you sideways because she don't want to have the same thing happen last time happen to her again. So even though you don't know it, you're walking on eggshells without you even know it. Because you may do something that may be brand new to you, but to her is old. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, fellas, there's a lot of risk out there, and the reason why we're having this conversation today, because no one is speaking to the man's mental health out there now.
Nope.
Men's suicide rate is going through the roof. Men's health is going through the roof, and just people don't care about men. We see all the things about women and everything else, but men, we're on the back burner. Fellas, the only people in the world that get unconditional love when it comes to being married or being with a woman is her kids get unconditional love. And the dog gets love too. Men don't get no love from anybody. The only person who's going to love you, my brother, is your actual mother. Only person in the world. And, of course, your kids going to love you unconditionally, too, if you have kids. They don't know any better. They know you as daddy, and they're going to love you to the end. But when you go into your person that you're supposed to be intimate with for the rest of your life, whatever, even if y'all do fall apart, my thing is this. When people do separate, I get it. Things happen. People separate. But at one point in your lifespan, y'all together, y'all was in love with each other. You could have kissed, eat the dirt. You know what I mean? Like, whatever came up that woman.
Drunk the bathwater.
Bathwater from her, bathwater from him. At one point, that was it. Mm-hmm. So when it gets to the point when y'all go through this divorce, it turns nasty. Mm-hmm. It turns horrible. And you get to really see who you really with. And one thing that I never knew about, and Seth our child didn't know about, is when you decide you want to get married and you go through marriage counseling, also book a session with a divorce lawyer, so he can also show you what it could look like on the other end. I know people are like, oh, we don't want to put that in the atmosphere. Nah, do it. You want to see it. You want to have all your pros and cons. We may do part 2 because there's 3 pages here. There's another stack of papers you want to know about. So I think I'm going to do a part 2. Maybe shorter, but we're going to do a part 2 because there's another section here. We're going to talk about right now, but there's another section here we're going to talk about.
Well, I probably should have mentioned this earlier to keep us on track about the benefits of being married. Listen, I found this out during my divorce. I knew it, but I didn't know it.
Okay.
But, once you're paying a lawyer some money, lawyers will lie to your face until you give them money. And then they will tell you brutal, honest truth. It's the weirdest thing in the world, right? So you cannot trust a lawyer you're not paying, period. But if you are paying that lawyer, he will give you 100% honesty no matter how much you want to stab him in his throat. Now, with that being said, when I was getting divorced, my lawyer straight up educated me with the fact that marriage is a business.
Facts.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we missed that part, didn't we?
I should have brought this up earlier. Yeah. And I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
We'll next when we do part 2, we'll start with that. Marriage is a business.
It is.
Marriage is an institution. It's like a corporation. It is you and another person came together to basically incorporate yourself into a business with the express purpose of gaining wealth and procreation and raising your children.
Facts.
That is the whole point of marriage. It ain't about love. It's about building and raising a family, and in the process, if you're lucky, making profit, aka
wealth.
Gaining wealth.
Mm-hmm.
All right. When you get divorced, marriage is the exact same thing as dissolving a corporation. When at the end of a marriage, it is simply put dividing assets. That's it. At that point, your children whoever gets the children get the asset of the children. Whoever don't get the children, they incur the liability of a child. If you were with somebody who didn't work, your wife may have been an asset while you were married, but upon divorce, if you have to pay her child support, if you have to pay her alimony or something, that's a liability. She got the asset of your income. You have the liability of alimony. If you worked in a 401k, if you have $1 million in your 401k or your retirement accounts or your bank accounts, once again, you will divide that asset. They don't really care at all about how much you loved her, how many hours you had to work. Nobody gives a damn.
And also, real quick, on the 401k thing,
Mm-hmm.
and the 401k thing is something, yes, if the man's working or a woman's working, both, whatever, but with men, the man's working 401k. Yeah, he has a 401k. It's not really just set up for him only. It is set up for the family once they retire. Mm-hmm. Mainly it's for you and his wife, because we all know the kids, when they get 18 older, they get out the house, they can live their life. Mm-hmm. So guess who's left in the house once the kids are gone? Me and the wife. So now I'm retired now. Now I have my 401k. So now we can do these travelings. We can go here. You can live good. You know what I'm saying? This is what the 401k is for. It's for when we get old and we die, X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. But then when you go through the divorce, right, and you feel entitled because, well, I was with him during that time frame, so I deserve it, whatever case may be. And let's say you get half of his 401k, right? So $1 million, so $500,000, right? Mm-hmm. You get and he keep. Now, mind you, you get it as a check right away. He still don't get it because he got at least hit 65 years old to get it.
That's we ain't even want to talk about.
Sorry, it's the nerve there. See, fellas, pay attention, fellas. This is the risk.
She can cash out. The word you want to use right now, she can cash out. Listen, where fellas, you still got to stay invested.
Fellas, let me break it down for you real quick. When I say when she leaves the service package, here's exactly what we mean. If you go through the divorce, you have a 401k, $1 million, she get half of that, right? Mm-hmm. The difference is she get her $1 million within 7 days once divorce is final. Mm-hmm. Not payment plan. She gets that 7 days. Mm-hmm. You have to pull a loan out, XYZ, but he got to cut her a check, a cashier's check, not a regular check. He had to get her a cashier's check within 7 days of $500,000 right away to his ex-wife. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, he still has $500,000 in his 401k, but guess what? He don't get that until he's able to retire or lose his job.
Yep.
You have to understand. There's a possibility that most men die before their wives. That's a fact. He may not ever see that money. Right? Not him, but the child, but men, period. Most men may not ever see that money. That's number one. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to the house. Let's say y'all bought the house, right? And you're only, let's say, 7 years in the house and it's a 30-year mortgage, right? Mm-hmm. But guess what? You're blessed enough within those first 7 years, the housing market has gone up. You bought the house for $100,000, but now it's over worth $200,000 now, right? But guess what? When it comes to divorce, within 7 days, you need to cut her a check for $100. About
50.
Yeah, you need to cut a check for $50,000 within 7 days.
So you're gonna have to remortgage the house if you want to keep it or sell it.
That part too. So if you can't, for some reason, if you're unable to get the loan or home equity loan, whatever, to get that money to cut her a check, you have to sell the house. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, at that point, if you sell the house and you get $200,000 for it, instead of giving her $50,000, you got to give her $100,000 now.
No, because you got to pay the bank.
Oh,
and then you split the profit, but still.
So now
she cashed out again.
She cashed out. So just on those two things alone, there's more, but those two things alone, she walked away with $500,000 from your 401k and $50,000 for the house.
And
go ahead.
The better of the other cars.
Better 2 cars too.
Better of the two.
We're not done yet, fellas. We're not done yet. And key word. And if y'all been together long enough, alimony, she gets that probably for life or to a certain time period. Mm-hmm. For example, and we're not based off Dr. Dre, but Dr. Dre's wife is getting what, $2 million, $200,000 a month until she either remarries or die. That's it.
I mean, she can live 40 more years.
So more likely, if I was a woman, if I was her situation, I would never get married again. So for her, it's more. But most men, whatever case may be, it could be $5,000 a month for life. Mm-hmm. I got to pay that until she gets married. And she may never get married.
She's probably not going to get
married.
Probably
not. I wouldn't. If I had an extra $5,000 coming in each month, tell me marrying somebody, no, we'd be in a relationship, but never getting married. Because unless you got that $5,000 you're going to keep giving me once we're married, I'm not doing it.
Nope.
So on top of that, hold on. There's one last thing too. If you have kids, and they're under 18 or whatever, guys, you got to pay for that too. Mm-hmm. So within 7 days, she can go from being either a housewife, had no job or she had a job, she could probably quit her job, all that right now, and she's gonna walk away almost with $1 million in cash, or I don't say million, let's say $700,000 in cash,
which you yourself have never seen at one time,
which you have never seen at your whole life. You might have seen it in your account, but as far as you touching it all at one time, never
seen it. So
with that being said, that's the risk. That's when we say when she leaves with a severance package, that's what she leaves. And this is real. Just because a guy makes $50,000 or $70,000 a year doesn't mean his 401k is not nice. Mm-hmm. What are y'all thinking? Like, oh, well, he ain't got the money anyway. A lot of dudes have a lot of good money in their 401k. Let's be clear.
Mm-hmm. So,
because most men been working. I've been working in corporate America ever since I was 22. So 22. So I always had a 4K for 22. I'm about to be 40. You do the math. That's almost 20 years of a 401k. Money put to the side. What are you talking about? You're broke. No.
And you know what? You would like to tell yourself, I want one more thing that everybody think. I had this before we got married. You had better check the laws in your state. Your example. You were working there before you got married. So you would think she's not entitled to the whole half of the 401k because we've only been married for, let's say, 10 years and I've been putting money in it for 20. Check the laws of your state. Because at one point, after a certain amount of time, let's say 8 years, some places 5, some places 10, it doesn't matter what you had before you got married. Everything is on the table. Boom. So, and like Janet Jackson did.
Boom.
I mean, I'm going to use Janet as an example. I'm not going to say she did the same thing. No. But Janet Jackson had a prenuptial agreement. Janet Jackson had a baby at like 47 or 48. Her prenuptial agreement said that if she had to stay married for 5 years. If she stayed married for 5 years, she would have been entitled to $500 million. Janet Jackson filed for divorce 5 years and 2 months later. Okay? 2 months after her 5 years. Why did she marry that dude in the first place? It wasn't for love. If you could divorce somebody 2 months after the time limit is, why was she there? She was there for the money. And most men, brothers, the more you make, the better off you are, the least likely you should be getting married. I love Kevin Samuels'
Trigger word.
Show.
Trigger word.
Yeah, no, I love it. I straight up, I rock with everything with Kevin Samuels except for the marriage portion. You can't convince me that getting married is smart. It's just not. And if I have to have a prenuptial agreement, the size of this mortgage document, just to make sure that she stays in it without trying to F me on a severance package, why would I need all of this when I can just avoid signing that?
1 page.
I could just avoid signing that and I don't even have to worry about any part of this. That's my thought on the subject.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in today to the Chop 10 as we break it down. Fellas, I hope you pay attention here. I hope you're taking notes. If you need to, go back and replay it. Because this is part 1. We're going to definitely do part 2 next week because there's another document we're missing here. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to keep the same documents here so you can see what the last document is. And it's all risk.
All risk.
It's all risk. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee.
Wait. You know what? There is one way to win.
What's that?
Make the less money. Have the least resources. So you get the person who's making the most resources has the most to lose. Adele has proven it. Halle Berry has proven it. If your girl is worth more than you, if your girl makes more money than you, if she has more resources than you, then all of this, that's on you. You could get the benefit of the nice house. You could get the benefit of the nice car.
But also, fellas, let's be honest with you. Yeah. I mean, it sounds good, but you don't want to be the guy who's not able to provide, protect the lead
because you're almost guaranteed to keep going. Sorry.
Because then you're gonna be with somebody who's gonna have masculine energy. Mm-hmm. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're not speaking in absolute. There's some women out there who can make one more than husbands, but now to treat the man and make sure that he is the guy in the relationship And regardless of how much money she makes, she knows her man is the man, right? So let's be clear. That's out there. I don't want to make it seem like you'll always be below, or there's no woman out there who make. Listen, I'm a man. I'll have no problem being with a woman. Like, if my wife was a 10 times 6-figure person, I'll be okay with that. Still working. It won't bother me because I'm still going to do my part, but that's not going to bother me. I know there's some dudes out there who feel some type of way, but those dudes are the immature dudes. This conversation we're having today is to a mature man who's really used critical thinking, logical thinking, and just want to make the best decisions for his life. Once again, men and women, black man, black woman, we should be together. We're only stronger together. But once again, fellas, you need to understand there's a risk you take when you say, pull that ring out, will you marry me? Because when you say you marry me, there's no guarantee. Mm-hmm. And in the part 2 conversation, I'm going to talk about the accountability in relationship. Just so it's kind of how you lead to be in a situation where you can lose everything. Mm-hmm. Right? But I'll put a pin there. Anything else before we close out, Seth the Dark Child?
No, just once again, with everything on here, the marriage license, the auto loan and lease, and the mortgage. Please stop thinking that a marriage license is just a symbol of our love. It is a business agreement, the same as every other document on this table.
Mortgage.
It is a business agreement, and when you dissolve a marriage, you are not breaking up a family. Lawyers don't think like that. You are simply dissolving a corporation. And if your feelings tied up in it, that's on you. But you're just dissolving a corporation. You're just divvying up assets and liabilities. And that's all the lawyers care about. And the person sitting across from you on the table, the truth of the matter is, you thought she wouldn't do you like this? Bruh. She's just a business partner who decided she don't want to be in business with you anymore. She ain't mad. I mean, she mad, but she don't care. Her lawyers will take care of all of that junk for her. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to the Chop Team. I'm your host, Twins Inc. with
Seth, the Dark Child.
Bum, bum, bum. Join us back next Sunday, 3 p.m.-ish on YouTube to find out what the other document is, and we talk about accountability in marriage.
Yes, sir.
Once again, episodes will drop Monday on all podcast platforms. So that's Apple iTunes, that is Spreaker, that is Spotify. Just type in the Chop Team. It'll pull right up. Mm-hmm. Thank you for our supporters for who tune in, comments, text messages, DMs, whatever you call it, because the conversation be real. And y'all have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And we out.
Peace.
Peace.